Have you ever wondered what lies at the very bottom of our world? Not just the bottom of the ocean, but the deepest, darkest, most mysterious place on Earth? Today we're taking a plunge into the abyss, a place more alien than the surface of Mars, a place where the pressure can crush steel and sunlight has never touched. We are going to the Challenger Deep, in the Mariana Trench. Imagine diving into the ocean. You go past the colorful coral reefs, past the playful dolphins, deeper and deeper. The sunlight starts to fade, the water gets colder. You pass the depth where submarines usually operate. You go deeper than the height of Mount Everest. You keep going down, 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 for almost 11 kilometers or 7 miles straight down. That's where you'll find the Challenger Deep. It's so deep that if you were to drop Mount Everest into it, its peak would still be more than a kilometer underwater. This is the ultimate frontier on our own planet, a place we've explored less than the surface of the moon. Now, let's talk about what it's really like down there. The conditions are, to put it mildly, extreme. The first thing you'd notice if you could survive it is the pressure. At the surface, we experience about 1 atmosphere of pressure. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the pressure is over 1,000 times that. Imagine the weight of 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. That's the kind of crushing force we're talking about. It is so intense that it would squeeze the air out of your lungs and turn a solid block of steel into a crumpled can. This incredible pressure warps the very laws of physics and chemistry as we know them on the surface. Then there's the temperature. While you might expect it to be volcanically hot from the Earth's core, it's actually just a couple of degrees above freezing, hovering between 1 and 4 degrees Celsius. It's a bone-chilling, perpetual cold. Combine that with the absolute total darkness. Sunlight can only penetrate about 1,000 meters into the ocean. The Challenger Deep is 11 times deeper than that. This is a world of eternal night, a place that has never seen a single photon of sunlight. The only light that has ever existed here is the faint bioluminescence from the creatures that call it home, or the powerful beams of the few submersibles that have dared to visit. And if that wasn't enough, there's very little oxygen. The dissolved oxygen levels are extremely low, making it an incredibly difficult place for life to breathe. So, you have crushing pressure, freezing temperatures, total darkness, and barely any oxygen. It sounds like a completely lifeless void, doesn't it? A dead zone at the bottom of the world. But here's where the story gets truly incredible. Life, in its stubborn, beautiful, and endlessly creative way, has found a way. Life exists here. So, who are these ultimate survivors? What kind of beings can possibly call this hostile environment home? Let's start with the smallest. The foundation of the food web in the trench is made up of microbes. These aren't your average bacteria. They are extremophiles, organisms that thrive in conditions that would be instantly lethal to almost anything else. Since there's no sunlight for photosynthesis, they can't make food from light. Instead, they perform a process called chemosynthesis. They literally eat chemicals. They consume substances like methane or sulfur that seep out from the Earth's crust or feed on the slow, steady rain of organic matter from above, known as marine snow. This is dead plankton, fish scales, and other detritus that takes weeks to sink from the surface to the bottom. For these microbes, it's a feast. Moving up the food chain, we find creatures that look like they've been pulled from a science fiction movie. Meet the amphipod. These are small, shrimp-like crustaceans, but the ones in the Mariana Trench are built different. They're supergiants of their kind, sometimes growing to the size of your hand. How do they survive the pressure? Their bodies are made of a unique, flexible, almost jelly-like substance, and they have special enzymes in their cells that are designed to function under extreme pressure. In fact, if you brought one to the surface, the lack of pressure would be fatal to it. They've evolved not just to tolerate the deep, but to depend on it. Then there are the xenophyophores. These are one of the most bizarre organisms you could imagine. They are giant, single-celled organisms. Yes, you heard that right. A single cell that can grow to be over 10 centimeters across. They look a bit like a discarded sponge or a weird, lumpy rock. They create intricate shells or tests from the sediment on the seafloor. These creatures are masters of their environment, feeding on the mud and debris around them. They are a perfect example of how life adapts in the most unexpected ways, creating something huge and complex from just a single cell in the most inhospitable place on Earth. But what about fish? Surely no fish could survive down here, right? For a long time, scientists thought so. But then, they discovered the Mariana snailfish. These incredible fish have been spotted swimming happily at depths of around 8,000 meters. They are the deepest living fish ever recorded. They look almost ghostly, translucent, scaleless, with soft, gelatinous bodies that are perfectly adapted to the pressure. They don't have a swim bladder, the gas-filled organ most fish use for buoyancy, because the pressure would simply crush it. Instead, their bodies are a marvel of deep-sea engineering, allowing them to not just survive, but hunt and thrive. And the most exciting part? These are just the creatures we know about. The Mariana Trench is one of the least explored places on our planet. Every time a submersible manages to make the journey down, it finds something new. Scientists are almost certain that there are countless unknown species waiting to be discovered. Who knows what other strange and wonderful life forms are swimming in that eternal darkness, perfectly adapted to a world we can barely comprehend. The potential for discovery is immense. It's a constant reminder that our planet still holds profound secrets. So, what's actually on the seafloor? It's not a flat, sandy bottom like you might picture at the beach. It's a landscape of fine, silky mud and sediment, built up over millions of years from marine snow and the skeletons of tiny plankton. There are also rocks from the tectonic plates that form the trench, and disturbingly, there are traces of us. Scientists have found evidence of human impact even in this remote abyss. Microplastics, the tiny fragments of our discarded plastic waste, have been found in the sediment and even inside the bodies of the amphipods that live there. It's a sobering reminder that our footprint reaches every single corner of the globe, from the highest mountains to the very deepest trenches. Metals and other pollutants have also been detected, carried down by ocean currents over decades. Exploring the Mariana Trench is an incredible technological challenge. Only a handful of missions have ever successfully reached the bottom. The first was in 1960, with the submersible Trieste. For decades, that was it. Then, in 2012, filmmaker James Cameron made a historic solo dive in his submersible, the Deep Sea Challenger. More recently, adventurer Victor Vescovo has made multiple dives as part of his 5 Deeps expedition, using advanced technology to map the seafloor in unprecedented detail and collect samples. Each mission is a monumental undertaking, requiring years of planning and technology pushed to its absolute limits. These explorers are like astronauts of the deep ocean, venturing into a realm just as hostile and unknown as outer space. The Mariana Trench isn't just a geographical curiosity, it's a vital part of our planet's system. The processes happening here, from the unique geology of the tectonic plates to the chemosynthesis of its microbial life, have a ripple effect on the entire ocean. Studying the trench helps us understand how life can exist in extreme environments, which gives us clues about the potential for life on other planets or moons in our solar system like Europa or Enceladus, which are thought to have subsurface oceans. It also gives us a baseline for the health of our oceans, showing us how far our pollution has spread. So, the next time you look out at the vast blue ocean, remember what lies beneath. Remember that hidden under all that water is a world of crushing pressure, freezing cold, and eternal darkness. A world that, against all odds, is teeming with strange, resilient, and beautiful life. A world that we are only just beginning to understand. The Mariana Trench is a testament to the power of nature, the tenacity of life, and the enduring spirit of human exploration. It reminds us that there are still frontiers to explore right here on Earth, full of wonders and mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Mariana Trench. If you found this journey as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more adventures into the unknown. We love exploring the world's greatest mysteries with you. Let us know in the comments what other deep-sea wonders you'd like to explore next. Until then, stay curious.